There is one big job still open in the NFL. That's the Jaguars General Manager job. Ian Cunningham, the Assistant General Manager from Chicago, is interviewing with the Jaguars today. I picked him out as a leading candidate a couple of weeks ago. I told you really when this process started that I thought there were two candidates that stuck out. One was Ian Cunningham, the other is John Robinson. But there have been a bunch of other guys that have gone through there over the last few days. Terrence Gray, well-respected director of player personnel from Buffalo, was a finalist in Tennessee. He's a guy to watch. Brandon Brown, the assistant GM with the Giants, he interviewed there as well. Trey Brown, senior personnel executive from the Bengals. They've talked to a bunch of different guys over Zoom this week. They want to get this wrapped up before the combine. They're obviously behind a lot of other teams when it comes to where they are in the process, not having a general manager this close to the combine. I would say one thing to watch for the Jaguars job. They've got a 52-year-old first-time executive in Tony Baselli as kind of the overseer of this over the top. Their Hall of Fame offensive tackle from the 90s. They've got a first-time head coach in Liam Cohen, a very young first-time head coach in Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky a year ago. Do you want to have another first-time guy in there, or do you want to bring some experience into the general manager position? And that's, I think, the question when you look at Ian Cunningham and you look at John Robinson, two different sides of the spectrum. On one end, you've got John Robinson, who's got the experience and the know-how, having done it. He's been in the division. He was there as the general manager of the Titans. On the other end, you've got Ian Cunningham, who doesn't have the experience, but has the pedigree. And you go through where he's been. He was with the Ravens. He came up in the Ravens system. He was one of Ozzie Newsome's guys. His first big job in Baltimore was as the Southeast area scout. Everybody who knows the Ravens organization knows that Ozzie Newsome does not give that job to just anybody. Ozzie Newsome, of course, is an Alabama guy. He is not handing Alabama's area to any scout. He's handing it to a guy that he thinks is a rising scout in his system, and that's what Ian Cunningham was. Ian then goes to Philadelphia, works under Howie Roseman, got to see it with Joe Douglas and Andrew Berry as the directors there, so he got to see that. And then over the last 3 years, he's worked in Chicago as a true number two, a guy who's involved in every part of every facet of the operation in Chicago. So he is ready, but he doesn't have the experience. He has the pedigree, but he doesn't have the experience. So those two guys, I'm not saying one of those two guys will definitely get it, but I think those are two strong candidates, and you're getting two pretty different things with those two guys. We'll see how that all plays out.